Hey, Amanda, did you get a chance to... Amanda? Where are you?
I'm right here, Tony.
Oh, good, I was just... What the...
What's wrong, honey?
You're not the wife. Where's Amanda?
I don't know what you're talking about. I am Amanda. Can't you tell by gazing into my eyes?
Yeah! Sorry about that.
What the heck was that thing?
Oh, don't worry about her. That was my old 2000's art style back in the day when I first started to learn how to draw.
Okay.
Kinda wanna see if I could draw in that style again. Let's learn how to draw old, weird-looking manga. Well, that was weird. If you're wondering what that was art from the past. In fact, it was inspired by an art book that I used to use all the time. This How to Draw Manga book was the first drawing book that I ever got. And I got it from the Scholastic Book Fair. It is completely worn out. There's creases all over it. The spine's all messed up. And it was so well loved. In fact, this book came out in 2002, and it's called How to Draw Manga by Katy Coope. For this week's video, I thought that it would be really fun to try to take some of my original characters and draw them in this style using the steps in this How to Draw Manga book. I, like I said, used this book all the time, and I, even today, sometimes follow some of the steps in here that I used to. Like, I always draw faces with a circle, and when I used to color with colored pencils, and I would do hair this exact way. So since this book came out in 2002, I was maybe 11 or 12 years old, and in fact, here are the drawings, the exact drawings that I made way back then. This one in particular is from July 10th of 2002, so the same year that this book came out. In fact, I titled it my first anime. Isn't that cute? We've kind of looked at these before. I have a cringy old art video that I will link up here in the iCard if you'd like to see all of them. But just for the sake of this book, I'm going to quickly show you how much this book influenced me. Now, when I started, I just basically always drew what I looked at, or drew things that I saw. So this character is obviously just this one. Pretty much every single one of these I drew from this book, but for some reason I decided to name them. Like, this guy's name is David for some reason. And this page is basically the exact copy of this. A lot of times, when you are first learning to draw, a lot of people draw the things that they see and follow a lot of the tutorials step by step. I know I did it a lot. Like this girl, her name is Brittany for some reason. But there's nothing wrong with that. I never claimed that these characters were my own or anything like that. But as you can see, I drew these characters a lot. In fact, I took some of the style for the things that I had learned in this. It's all like dirty and stuff because it's so old. But here's me taking some of the things that I learned from this and trying to apply them into things myself. Here's a picture of Harry Potter that I drew way back when in the same style. And of course I, had to label the snitch because you're not going to know if you don't see it. And then here was another practice of that same character, just without color on it. I thought today it would be super fun to follow some of these exact steps without veering or trying to fix them in any way, shape, or form, and draw my characters this way. So let's get into that. This book, oh my god. I used it so much as a kid, but I was honestly a little intimidated to try drawing like this again. The style definitely reminds me of 90s style anime, and in some ways reminds me of the Pokemon Adventures manga. Not so much in the face shape, but definitely in the eyes. This manga style in general has very high and sharp eyes with tall, narrow pupils. Very stylistic and very fun. I was probably super drawn into the style because of my earlier love for Pokemon that was rekindling at this time in my life. On my stream with you guys, I decided that I wanted to try one of each tutorial type in this book. A full face, a chibi, and one full body character. I decided, as mentioned, that I didn't want to just draw random people or follow the tutorials to create the characters that they were drawing in the book, so I decided to use the steps to draw my own OCs. What started as a fun blast to my past actually turned out to feel more like a drawing challenge for me in the end. I've drawn in other styles plenty of times before, but trying to painstakingly follow the directions of this book turned out to be pretty difficult. Drawing with such sharp angles and making the eyes so tall with such thin pupils hurt me to make more than I thought it would. This is how I used to draw all the time? How did I do this? Who am I? But it was also kind of neat because I was using techniques and coloring that actually felt nostalgic and comfortable for me. Pens, pencils, and colored pencils, they were my main mediums for such a large chunk of my childhood. It's always interesting to look back on your old art and see how far you've come, but it is definitely a unique experience to look back on the techniques that you used and admired and see how far you've come and how much your tastes have changed over time. I realized as I was growing up that while I liked anime and manga styles, I really liked larger pupils and rounder faces. Through inspiration, you can start to see your art change into aesthetics and styles that kind of encompass your passions and likes. It was something I never really thought about that deeply until working on this.
But this comic maker, your Copics are so smooth and this is kind of weird. You're weird!
And you're rude! Oh, well, okay, you have a point there. Banana Man, it's because it was my childhood. I wanted to try to use the same types of materials that I used to use when I drew the characters in this book. Oh, well, I guess that makes sense. I'll be going then. Bye, Banana Man. Anyway, something that I underestimated with these drawings was the time that it took to complete them. You might be thinking to yourself, yeah, drawing takes time, but this is such a simple style of drawing. How could it have taken you a long time to complete? Well, to be honest, the colored pencils took so long to use. I'm telling you, I have spoiled myself with using markers. It's so interesting because this was a medium that I used to use all the time as a kid. I loved colored pencils. I still do. But now I use them for final details or textures as opposed to full colored characters. I also forgot about how much they hurt my hands. I used Crayola colored pencils for this, so this might be why, but to get a nice solid color, you either have to do so many layers or you need to push down really hard. By the end of these 3 simple drawings, my hand was killing me. I really forgot how much time it takes to fill in spaces smoothly with colored pencils. I should have entered a hand wrestling contest as a kid because I must have had major muscles with all the coloring that I used to do. Overall, this was a really fun set of drawings to work on, despite the time it took to complete them, and the fact that it burned my soul to draw a chibi like that. Look at those feet! The horror! I think that it made it more fun because I was drawing my own characters this time, as opposed to the characters that they already gave me in the book. It was interesting to see them drawn in a different style as well. If you liked my characters and you want to know more, I'll leave an iCard where you can watch us create Sata Sonata, my blue-haired lazy scientist using a random generator. She cute. She's my waifu. Trust me on this one. It's a lot of fun. But what do you guys think? What kinds of things did you draw when you started? Were there books or online tutorials maybe that you use for practice? Or did you just start by drawing some of your favorite shows or cartoons? Let me know in the comments below. In fact, while you're down there, be sure to like my video and subscribe if you enjoyed what I do. Links on what I used, including this very book, will be in the description below also. Videos like this are possible because of my amazing patrons. I gotta hand it to them. Get it? Banana jokes, anyone? I laughed. Huh. Anyway, that's it for me. Thank you all so much for stopping by, and I hope that we could draw together again soon. Bye, guys.